All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of FlowState. Today, we're going to be talking about taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically, leaning into the scary and unknown. And I'm going to be speaking about some anecdotal, circumstantial things that have led me to this topic for today that have just happened. Oh shit, fucking bus. Don't wanna, just reminds me that I say that a lot and don't wanna die on this podcast. It's never a good situation. So training a client who withheld a little information from me that I should have been privileged to with regards to his kidney function. And we've been training hard, doing a lot of mindset coaching. Things have been going incredible, not just mindset, but working through the growth blueprint. And he's been making tremendous progress for himself, both physical and mental. As you well know, or maybe not, if you're new to this channel, vitality is the foundation to everything that we do. If you don't have the energy, the mental clarity, the force to reckon with your demons, you're never going to be able to get clear on the things that are important to you to get clear on in order for you to make growth and progress. So he withheld this information, something that for him wasn't new, but he didn't take action like 15 years ago when he first became aware of this. And we had this conversation and like, what is the block that, what is the block that prevented you from taking action in that moment? And this is nothing new. I think for people in general, they are leaning in to the negative possible outcome of a situation as opposed to owning the possible outcome. And so if you don't take action when you're presented with a diagnosis and you leave things to chance, I would propose that that is a slippery slope to shit, because you're going to be operating blind. So because of this, today he was feeling like kind of drained, and we've been training hard in the gym and his other activities and other work that he's been doing. And then his blood pressure was really high today, so he went and got it checked out at the hospital. He's fine, everything's fine. But it's an interesting point because there's information that I should have known, I should have probed more, and that is my responsibility as someone who's guiding someone, especially as it relates to weight training and protein intake recommendations and things like that. And for the most part, people are extremely resilient. But when you're operating from a deficiency that needs attention and balance, it doesn't support your long-term goal of where you're looking to go. So this is true for a few other people that I know, older, where they refuse to take action on actionable information, or at least they didn't take positive action. They just chose not to do anything. And because of it, they suffer immensely. because they look at the output of this information as just pure negative and like, oh, there's nothing I can do, or this, that, and the other thing. That's bullshit. That's a fucking lie and limiting belief you tell yourself. And the more you tell yourself, the more you lean into that, the stronger it holds. And then that made up belief turns into, you're essentially manifesting this reality for yourself. So I see medical awareness as a catalyst for growth and ownership over whatever your life situation presents to you. We're all susceptible to different things. We all have different realities that we're contending with. And not taking action as a vessel for ownership in understanding your body, its needs, and how you can support you, is the only course of action. It would be like getting an injury and then choosing not to do rehab and then expect that everything's going to be fine. Never, not never, but very, very, very rarely does that ever work out for the individual. Just like with personal growth, don't leave it to chance. Take it by the fucking throat and lean into the discomfort. It's gonna be painful. Rehab is not fun. Anytime you're relearning how to use something that's been fucked up, it's painful, it hurts. But just like with growth, there's no comfort in growth. That happens after, when you've resolved your challenge and can live within the new vessel that you've created for yourself based on a little bit of suffering. Doing everything that you can to support yourself to have the highest quality of life is the pursuit of excellence, as close as you can get to being excellent. It's not about being perfect. It's about supporting the things that you want to be able to do. If you want to lose weight, you have to moderate the amount of food that you bring into your body and be focused on physical activity. It's not rocket science, it's not complicated. Calories in, calories out, getting stronger, focusing on developing a program that supports your desired outcome. These are all basic ideas. Now, getting people to actually do it and live into it, that's the challenge that people have. Of course, if it were easy, everybody would be shredded. Everybody would be walking around at fucking 12% body fat for men and, like 16% for women or whatever. Everybody would be strong. Everybody would be laser focused on the things that they wanted to do without compromise. I know it's scary because I've lived through moments in my life where I took the easy way out, and you always suffer because of it. You never get anywhere you're going taking the easy way. That isn't going to come and bite you in the ass in the long term. It's like cleaning up is not taking all the shit on your desk and putting it into a drawer and just forgetting about it. That's a temporary solution to a long-term problem. And thinking about strategies as a source of power and not as a source of trauma, right? Because if you don't address the underlying issue, you're going to be living in trauma of the potential outcome until it actually gets manifested into reality, or until you take action in the right direction and choose to actually do something about it. But by that time, it may be too late. Taking care of yourself is the primary objective. Because if you can't take care of yourself, how are you expected to be in service to others? How are you expected to be there for the people that are the most important to you in your life? You can't operate from a place of deficiency and expect to be a high-functioning individual. Maybe you can get away with it for a little bit of time, but in the long term, it's going to come and bite you in the ass. So how do you avoid this pitfall and this trap at the earliest stages of your life to be able to not shy away from challenging things and not shy away from scary information that you have to deal with, and use it to be more powerful, to show up more in alignment and less fragmented? It's about starting with mindset, understanding that all of this is a frame in how we choose to look at things. Now, certainly people that are raised in certain cultures will have an advantage as it relates to this, but ultimately it's all a choice. It's a choice to look at the world, I'll use this extremely broad example, the glass half full, glass half empty. It's not just about being optimistic. It's about understanding that when we have the power to take action on something that is within our power to leverage, then we should take advantage of that, because not taking advantage of it is setting ourselves up for failure at some point. Whew. It's nice and toasty today. This week has been a little off for me. This week has been full of temptation that, I have definitely taken advantage of. Fucked up my sleep early in the week on Saturday night, stayed up until 7 a.m. Went to go support a friend at a nightclub who's DJing, had a wonderful party, a new concept, all vinyl and all B-sides of the vinyl records, super fun. And it's been a hard recovery, just reminding myself of how important sleep is to everything that we do, and just negating that for a momentary indulgence really fucked my shit up. I had training compromise, my mind being not as sharp as it normally is, because if I am not sleeping properly, then my training gets compromised. If my training gets compromised, I am not as productive, I'm not as locked in, I'm not as grounded, and it's this vicious cycle. I also want to make it clear that everything that I'm sharing with everybody is the very thing I'm living in this moment. And I get it wrong. I'm not perfect. I'm the furthest thing away from perfection, and I rail against perfectionism all the time because it's just some made up bullshit that people like to throw around. And it's really the thing that detracts from being consistent. And that's really the most important thing, is consistency over time. It's a thing that compounds. It's the thing that really keeps you moving forward above all else. You know, you have shit days, you have strong days. It's really not about it's not about any one day in particular. It's about showing up, doing the thing, staying true to your ultimate vision of where you're heading, and being relentless about that. You're gonna have days that are gonna suffer because of the choices that you make, just like I did this week. Understanding that sleep is really the primary mechanism for recovery, for keeping your mind sharp, keeping your testosterone levels high, supporting you in the thing that you want to do. You, the viewer, sitting or watching, standing, whatever. Man, is this a beautiful day. Ooh, lots of people fishing. So, learning from your mistakes and not repeating them is really that element of consistency that over time yields the results that we're all looking for, right? Which is progress, which is growth, which is closing the gap, which is getting us closer to where we want to go. Now, it wasn't by accident that this happened. This was by design. I knew I was compromising my sleep, but it was a choice that I made for myself in that moment, and I love it. I loved it in that moment. It was great. But what wasn't great was feeling like shit for a week, basically. And it wasn't like I did anything crazy or anything. It was just really the lack of sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep. I mean, this space is inundated with commentary about the importance of sleep, meaning health and wellness in general. I mean, being an insomniac to me is one of the most insane things to contend with, because it erodes everything that is the nature of our existence as we see it, right? We're all coming from our own unique perspective in life. We all have our own version of reality. We have shared emotions, meaning like we can empathize with one another. We know more or less what happy, sad, excited, laughter, what it all feels like, but we don't really know the individual's unique experience to this. And so to be chronically sleep deprived is really a hard thing. It's a hard pill to swallow constantly. And it's one thing if you're young and you're like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, which was definitely my attitude back then, not really fully understanding the power that sleep has on our well-being, our mental state, understanding the impact, how much more I should have been prioritizing sleep. And it's not to say that this is something that I regret. It's just the lack of awareness and information that has brought me to where I am today, and am able to leverage in a positive output to enrich your life as much as possible. And it's not to say, I mean, whoa, fuck. Me too. I'm definitely reaping the benefits from my own struggles. I mean, that's how I got here. I lived the questions and the answers alone to create this blueprint for you to thrive into. Really live inside, not just some hyped fucking exercise that doesn't actually stay with you, because it's less about me. I'm not here to shape the trajectory of your life in being able to provide you answers to questions. My role is to guide you and walk with you along your path, providing questions for you to answer that will shape the trajectory of your life in the way that you have determined is right for you. Let's see, should I jump? Seems a little far. Aha. Let's go. Made it. I love it. All right. Woo! I feel like I'm at the end of the world here. As a society, I feel we are so overstimulated. One of the intentional, look at Tiga. Loves playing down here. One of the intentional benefits of, well, I guess it was unintentional at the time where I started working on this, but it really truly is a tool for slowing time down and understanding that there's just too many things on your to-do list, and most of them are really not priorities. You think in the moment that they are, but in reality, it's like really reflecting on that list and just going through the motions of what you think really needs to get done versus a prioritization of information grounded in a long-term vision. That's really the difference between just a list of shit to do and then reflecting on what's important to you as it relates to where you see yourself in the next 10 years. And everything on that list is correlated. It's not just like, oh wow, in order to do this, I need to do 100 things. It often isn't that at all. It often is essentially lack of focus and distraction, to which I am very susceptible. I'll open an app to post a video, and the next thing I know, I'm like doing something else. what the fuck is that? How do we get there? How do we find ourselves so easily distracted? And it's because we're rewiring our physiology as technology gets more ingrained into our life. It's taking a long time for our bodies to catch up to where we are currently with technology. That's amazing to me. Technology is one of those beautiful inventions that have amplified our ability to do unlimited things, and that's just going to keep getting more robust, more intense. My children have never not known a world that is fully integrated, and they're, 9 and 12 years old. So I can't even imagine what it's like for a newborn today, 2025, in this moment. Just like those who, I was born in 1984. That was a big year for technology. I remember the Apple commercial. Obviously, I don't remember it from when I was born, but it's that kind of moment in time where things really started ramping up. And between 1984 and today, it was like a blip in time, but yet the compute power has just gone off the rails. Your phone that you're watching this video on, or the computer or TV, has so much more compute power in it than like some of the craziest technological advancements in history could have ever imagined, from navigation systems for aircraft and all of the space travel combined. Is just so amazing to me, and it's just mind-numbing how powerful it all is. But at the same time, because we are animals, because we are slow, because technology is so fast, we need time to equalize, and that is non-existent. There is no time to equalize, because just think about the rate at which new technology is introduced to mass market versus that in research and development. You get your new iPhone every year, new TVs, new cars. Oh shit, hey Tiga. All of these things, it's like we're playing perpetual catch up. The Apple Vision Pro, Google Glass, that was kind of like a failed thing, but it still was a glimpse into the future to which we are now living with devices like the Apple Vision Pro and other things, even from Meta, I forget what it's called, but the point is that it's relentless. It's happening whether you like it or not. So then it's like, okay, it's happening. How can we calm ourselves down? How can we take advantage of things that are really there to support us as humans, but at the same time, not give up the awesome power that is the technology, because I think that would be also detrimental to our capacity to do cool and new things. It's important to me that my children are fluent with computer skills, learning how to use AI to leverage whatever they want out of it, but at the same time not get distracted by all the shiny buttons and, the kind of like ultimate and never-ending entertainment that also exists within this And it really comes down to having locked in values that you live by to support the vision that you hold for yourself. How you see yourself as a human can either be a combination of the thoughts that you have put together or captured moments not based on your own idea of where you would like to go, but other people, right? All the programming that we lived through the way we were raised, our culture, religious backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It truly is. It's a really difficult thing for people. And getting distracted is kind of like the main point of the plot, right? Keep people uninformed, keep people from asking the right questions, keep people from probing deeper, and you have this idea of control, because essentially you have a generation of people that are potentially numb to the things that really matter and focused on the things that by design don't matter. Attention is the name of the game for everything. I mean, I am participating in this right now, trying to hold your attention so I can continue the pursuit of what I'm looking to do, which is all a positive, but I'm also competing with everyone else trying to do whatever they're trying to do. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know, we're starting with this. I mean, I am starting with this at the ripe old age of 41. You know, some people, the difference is with attention and experience is that when you can connect with someone, whatever, whether they're a creator for entertainment, creator for knowledge, education, sharing their art, their own experience, it really comes down to that, like how much are they putting themselves out there and how much truth is in what they're saying. It was very difficult for me to do what I did. And when I came out the other side, I was defined by a mission to be able to help people and support them so that they didn't have to do the thing that I did that took 10 years. Because if you're doing it on your own, you have no guardrails, you have no systems. You're just trying shit, and eventually something sticks, but you don't know until you know. Whew. I had a really interesting session with my coach last night, my coach and guide. And I really feel as though everyone should have a guide and a coach. took me a while to even figure this out, because I never had this until recently. And, you know, which is different than mentorship. I really do feel like the power of a third party that is in alignment with where you're going can help you get there in a way that is most effective, and especially when you're struggling, because, you know, when it's easy, you're all hyped and you feel good, but it's keeping you focused on the thing that is going to make it either shorter or longer for you. And to expedite things as quickly as possible is really the main objective for me. Leveraging my own experience. Ooh. Oh man. Oh man, I feel fucking majorly depleted right now. Oh, okay. I made it. I made it. Man. Get your 8 hours. That's all I have to say. It's been a week of sluggish, just feeling drained. And I attribute it to that choice I made, which again, no excuse. I did it consciously. I said, okay, we're doing this. I'm gonna suffer. I'm gonna enjoy the moment. But you know, it's like I do this less and less as time goes on because I understand the consequences more and more. And, you know, short-term gratification for long-term struggle is becoming increasingly less interesting to me, even if it's a thing that I really enjoy. So how do we modulate that? Well, okay, love to party, love to hang out with my friends, love to do all this fun stuff. But prioritizing the thing that's going to make me feel good every day is more important. And it's not to say that you can't leverage daytime to have fun, to party, social events, etc. Because I know that a day committing to enriching my life through social events and things like that is so important to overall health and wellness. But that's just that. It's choosing to be back and in bed by 10 or whatever is the appropriate time for each individual to get adequate sleep, so that you can do it again all over the next day. That to me is a priority, and it's a choice that we, it's like when presented with the choice, which direction are you going to go in? And really understanding the consequences of that. Also, how much age is a factor in this is massive. Sometimes you can't get a break, but you can also choose to balance the things that are not serving your interest long term. Like, let's say you have to work crazy hours, right? When you get home, you may feel like going to bed, but you also have other shit that you have to do, or at least that you tell yourself. And so in those moments, that's when we get tested. That's when we find ourselves either making a decision grounded in discernment, or a choice that's fulfilling an immediate need for whatever. And oftentimes, the right choice is the difficult one. It's the one that you're giving up something for something else, which is not sacrifice. Okay, it's like people love throwing that word around. I think as a society, and especially in this space of people who are looking to improve their lives, this idea should be redacted from their vocabulary. It's like a philosophical impediment to really being in alignment, especially after you've done the work with developing your core values and choosing to live into them. Because sacrifice is really the idea that is beneath choices and decisions that are not fully in alignment. Because if they were in alignment, they are no longer sacrifices. You're not in exchange for this or that. You're choosing a long-term vision over something that would otherwise impede your growth, impede your choice to be able to live into the version that you have set out. I mean, it's like you're not giving up anything. It's a choice. You're choosing the output of your vision. You're not giving up something. It's like one narrative that people, I think, hey, Tiga, come on, buddy. Tiga, come. Fuck, it's also super hot today. Oh. So, like, you hear a lot of people talk about how they worked, like your parents or your grandparents, whatever. It's like, I sacrificed so much so you can do this, this, and this. Fine, people say that. But that doesn't mean that they were actually in alignment with the end vision. That means that they prioritized that other thing over you in that moment. But if they were locked into that vision, then this idea of prioritizing the output of the vision takes precedent over everything. And yes, part of that means doing other things that require you to essentially have a basis of prioritization, okay? That's the main thing. Giving up something in exchange for something else is sacrifice, but it becomes a profound choice when it's in alignment with the vision that you've laid out for yourself, especially if that vision is grounded in your values, in your core values. For example, I'll use a personal example. My wife and my children go to the water park that's here, which is amazing. We have a subscription, and we've been, so many times, because it's truly the most chilled out, beautiful. It's all based on Thailand, and it's not like one of these crazy it's not like Disneyland where everybody's fucking losing their minds and it costs like $1 million just to go in. And so when these moments come up, of course, I want to be there every single time to go and hang out with my kids and family and other friends and stuff like that, of course. But my path that I have predetermined requires me to do the thing that I want to do out of choice, so that I can, and then the list goes on and on and on. Like, whatever that means to you. I don't want to start interjecting things that are important to me that and then in turn are not important to you, because it's not about that. But the understanding of like making a conscious choice that supports a long-term vision is not a sacrifice. It's a way of life that empowers you to do the thing that you want to be doing in that moment. It's like understanding the consequences of it. Really, truly on a like atomic level, if you will. It gets fuzzy when we lose sight of that and we make poor decisions, and then we fall into the trap of sacrificing because then we're not clear-headed. We don't have our grounding force about us, so we make mistakes. It's all a choice. You all have choices. No one's here to tell you what quote unquote right or wrong choice. This is your destiny, your path. remove the word sacrifice from your vocabulary and replace it with I choose. I choose this because this. You're not giving up anything. You're choosing to live in alignment with your highest potential. You're choosing to support your family in alignment with your core values. I'm choosing to go to bed at this time so I can wake up refreshed and smash my training, because I know that when I smash my training, I'm more focused, and when I'm more focused, I'm able to be more efficient. And when I'm more efficient, I spend less time being distracted on the things that don't matter, and I'm able to accomplish more in less time, and therefore I'm able to spend more time with my family. That's the shit. That's the fucking magic right there. This older generation is all about sacrifice. I gave up all this for you. Flip the script. We're not living 100 years ago. We're living in the present moment. The world is completely different. Oh man, it's funny how I was depleted and now I'm energized. Fucking vitality, baby. All I know is I'm getting my sleep tonight. A new cycle begins tomorrow. Amazing. Made it back home alive yet again. Thank you so much for dropping in today. I hope you found value in this conversation. Please drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Click the link in the description and join our community on School, the Growth Blueprint. If you have any questions, please reach out. Like and subscribe. It really does impact our ability to connect with more people, and that action alone is more powerful than you know. I love you all. See you next time.